So this video is going to be about restorative justice, what it is, why it's important, and how it can benefit you as a federal defendant. So restorative, means to restore something to its previous state, pretty much. Justice, well, I mean, you know. So restorative justice is a form of justice that involves returning something to its previous state. Generally, restorative justice is about fixing the harms caused by crimes. A good example of this um, is in South Africa. They had apartheid, which was like segregation but worse for years. And when the apartheid finally ended, they had what they called the amnesty hearings. If you're not familiar with this whole event in history, it's a really good piece of history to know. But at the amnesty hearings, what happened is the oppressive party, the party that was committing wrongs and crimes, met with the Afrikaans, met with the other indigenous South Africans, the ones of color. And, what they had to do was say, this is what I did, and own up to take responsibility, accountability for the crimes they committed and the atrocities they committed. And their victims were given a chance to confront them and to speak. Very powerful stuff. There's actually a movie about that particular chunk of history called Not in My Country. And it is, ugly cry. You're going to ugly cry. I did. You certainly will. I promise you. It's a very moving, powerful movie. It's a true story. And it's called Not in My Country. But having said that, now we know what restorative justice is. Now let's talk about the importance of it and how it can help you in getting the best outcome possible at your federal sentencing. If you're a person whose crimes are of a financial nature, the judge will, there's no getting around it, will order you to pay restitution, to repay for any financial harm you caused, any money you took, laundered, embezzled, whatever, scammed. A lot of people don't want to do that, don't want to take that responsibility because, we could be talking hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, and you may be someone who, without committing crimes, ain't never going to make that much money in your life. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. You're going to be ordered to repay it. And if you got to pay it, pay on that mess and have that cloud over your head to the day you die and still not pay it off, that's exactly what they're going to make you do. So, and if you're a person with financial crimes and you're driving a Hummer and you're sitting in your, one of your condos, boo-hooing, waiting for sentencing, you're really shooting yourself in the foot because right now you could be liquidating. Get any excessive property you got, get rid of it. Downgrade that car to an Audi or a Hyundai or whatever, something used, something economic, and take all the money you make from these things to put into account to use towards the payback, the restorative justice that the judge is going to require you do. And it'll assist you at sentencing to be able to tell the judge, I have liquidated my assets. I have, sold property. I have whatever. And I've put this money aside so I can pay restitution to those I've harmed, to those I've taken money from. And I think the judge will certainly, realize that you're eating some humble pie. And if nothing else, have a respect for you based upon that. Another type of restorative justice, let's say you're in for a drug crime, okay? If you're looking at a drug crime, something you can do as restorative justice now is start volunteering in your community. Even though drug crimes are generally, categorized as victimless, in the federal system, any felony is presumed to have a victim, even if not specified, which means you do have victims. Your victims are your community. I'm not going to say your victims are drug addicts because I'm sure that they quite aggressively sought out the drugs. But, what about all the crimes that were committed by these people to support their drug habit as a result of the drugs being available to buy? That's on you. At least a slice of that responsibility falls on your lap. So you need to really really be very introspective and just really see things from an intellectual, not emotional perspective, and figure out where you have caused harm. Who are your victims? Where did you cause harm? And you need to figure out what can you do to remedy that, to resolve that, or at least make an effort to repair some of the damage you've done. And when you do these things, especially if you can get on it before your PSR even gets done, that way they can be mentioned in your PSR, will do you a lot of favors. Mention them in your personal narrative. That will do you some favors. Have your lawyer mention it at sentencing. Now, do not mention it in your allocution. Because as I said, and I did a video specifically on allocution, you do not want to allocution is your opportunity to apologize, no more, no less. You do not want to come across as a person who's minimizing or justifying their behavior in any way, shape, or form during allocution. But that's what restorative justice is. And, and you need to, now I'm not telling you, don't send a check to your financial victims because that's not going to come out of your restitution. Your restitution is going to be money you pay the court and the court pays them. There's a middleman. There's a checks and balances system. Don't just go giving a check to somebody you financially harmed because legally that's a gift and you're still going to pay back double now. If your harm you've done affected, people that you don't personally know or maybe you do know in the community, don't reach out to these people offering apologies or let me, maybe you embezzled some funds from some seniors, God forbid. And now you're volunteering to mow lawns for free for the senior people in your community throughout the summer, which is a great thing to do. And mention that, that's cool. But you don't want to do that under the pretense or telling these people, oh, I'll mow your lawn for free because I scammed a bunch of y'all. Y'all are my victims. And I want to do right by you. Don't do that. That's how you get restraining orders. That's how you get harassment charges. That's how you get hit with a cease and desist. Don't do that. Anything you're thinking about doing, as an act of restorative justice in good faith, run it by your lawyer first. Seriously. But that's what restorative justice is, and that is why it is applicable to you as a federal defendant and in your best interest to start making, to start making restorative justice efforts now. Hold on. The sooner, the better. So, good day. God bless. Stop, Mason. Wait. So good day, God bless, and I hope this information helps someone.